Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We're sitting in New Zealand. We're in the C-Ray Elite. Again, we're just doing some more testing. I've made a couple changes to my settings. I've increased a few things, so the graphics really are up a bit from where I normally fly. Overall, performance is relatively smooth. You will notice as I'm rolling along on the ground some minor stutters here and there, and you'll notice them up in the air occasionally. We're going to fly over some towns, we're going to fly over some valleys and woods and mountains and water. We're actually going to do a water landing at the end where the Dolphins are. But, you know, like I said, it seems to be relatively smooth, even though I got the graphics up higher than I normally play with them at. And so I'm just still testing. This is the Sim Update 12 beta release. This is the third release of the beta. This is the third rev of the beta. It's 1.31.20.0. Not related to World Update 12, which was just released. That's different. World Update 12 was a change to the world. That's New Zealand, which is where we're actually at right now. This is New Zealand, so this is World Update 12. New Zealand, but Sim Update 12 is a beta release, and it's the third, and that's what I'm flying right now. And along with that is the latest Nvidia driver, which was released on the 28th of February, just a few days ago, and that's Game Ready Driver 531.18. And someone had asked me once if I get the laptop driver or not, and at that point I just was downloading the whichever driver was popped up in the tool suite, the Nvidia experience, GeForce experience. But I actually, after he mentioned that, I started going to the website. So now when I download my driver, this is specifically the one that pops up, and I don't know if it's really any different than, you know, if I download the TI driver or the non-TI driver or the laptop driver or the not. As far as I know, it's all the same driver, but I've been doing that. So again, it's the latest Nvidia driver, 531.18, Sim Update 12 beta release 1.31.20.0, flying with the C-Ray Elite in New Zealand, and it really looks beautiful here. It really is incredible. I'm so glad that it's not raining. But man, it's always windy down here, it seems. It seems like every time I take off, the windsock is laying straight out across the runway. So it makes for some very interesting flying. But anyhow, we're just about to the Dolphins here. And so you check it out. Like I said, you'll see a variety of different scenery. And you'll see occasional stutters, mostly when I'm turning, which, because I'm loading new scenery at that point, of course, you know, as you turn, or in my case in VR, when I turn my head to look left and right. If I do it fast or in a busy area, sometimes there's a skip, but it's not consistent. You know, it skips when I turn my head, but then it stops and it's smooth again. So to me, it's not enough to really ruin the immersiveness of the sim. You know, I enjoy it. I have great, awesome flights. I have close to 1,000 videos now on my channel, and those are just clips of some of the flights, you know, so you can imagine how much more flying there actually is being done that's not being recorded or that gets trimmed out. I put up a 6-minute video that came from a 40-minute flight, you know? So but yeah, I mean, you can see here we're really getting some nice performance. To me, it's looking quite smooth in the headset as I'm flying. The quality looks good. So again, I'm still tweaking with settings, so I'm not gonna really show my settings. They're not changed much from where I normally end, with the exception of some of them being turned up. So if you were to find my last settings video, which I released about a month ago on my channel, for SteamVR, Virtual Desktop, Quest 2, RTX 3070, because that's my config. then really those are still the same settings that I'm flying under, just turned up a little bit. For instance, I think in that video my terrain level of detail is down around 20 or 25, and right now I believe it's at 100. Yeah, same thing with my level of detail, object level of detail, I think is normally down. Yeah, look at this. Look at the mountains over here. Yeah, really, really incredible. I mean, they look awesome to me. So now the Dolphins, when we get to the Dolphins and in the water, everything is nice and smooth. The water looks good. The movement of the aircraft is all nice and smooth. The Dolphins don't look good, but I wanted to see them. I usually don't waste time looking for the animals in this game because in VR, they're not realistic looking at all. Not at my level of computer with the Quest 2. I'm not saying that they wouldn't be with, you know, the $2,000, $3,000 headset and a $7,000 computer. They probably look beautiful. But for me, it's not about finding dolphins. It was neat to find them and see them, but I'd rather spend my time looking at things like this scenery here and these mountain peaks around. And the turbulence is definitely having an effect here as I'm changing terrain, you know, from mountains to water to like that, to the flat levels and so forth. So we're gonna come in down here low between these, right to the right of that island that you can see up here at 12 o'clock. And I mean, it's 12 o'clock in the image, but for me flying, it's 11 o'clock. It's at 11 by 11. Looks really nice over here too. See, I mean, that's pretty smooth for me right now. And I don't have the frame rate display on because it makes the image jumpy, but I will tell you that I have been consistently averaging 40 to 45. Those are my frame rates. And really, if it's smooth, you know, you can go down as low as 30. As long as it's smooth, it's still going to be flyable. But 40 to 45, I consider more than respectable, especially looking like this. It doesn't really seem to be stuttery or skipping or jumping. And I do have bloom on. That's something that I don't normally have enabled. And ambient occlusion, which I think if you look at all my... Oh, I'll have to check out that little pier afterwards. But this boat up here on the right, that's the dolphin watching cruise, and that's where the dolphins are. So we're going to not land right there, but over here and then turn around and come back. But what was I saying? Oh, yes, if you look at any of my previous videos for settings, you'll see in almost every one of them, ambient occlusion is turned off, and bloom is on for some and off for others. Right now, I have both bloom and ambient occlusion enabled. And I think terrain shadows as well, which is something else I always have turned off. I never have terrain shadows on, and I think that's on right now as well. So like I was saying, I mean, you can see the water's moving by pretty smoothly here. The reflection is wavering with the ambient occlusion and the bloom on, the reflection of the sun getting the waviness of it, which is what you would see in the water. There we go. So here's some dolphins. They got big, my luck, I'll run right over them. Yeah, see, they're not quite smooth. I mean, I'm moving by them smoothly. You can see I'm moving by the boat. The boat goes by the wing. The scenery, look at, you know, it's going nice and smooth, but they're not really moving smoothly. But that's all right. We found them, and there you go. The dolphin watching cruise with the jumping dolphins. That's a little bit better. It's still slow. But there you go. Anyhow, I want to go check out this pier. But Sim Update 12, Beta Release 3, 1.31.20.0, Nvidia latest release driver 531.18, running with SteamVR, Virtual Desktop, the Quest 2 headset, no Oculus software, no Oculus tray tool, no Oculus debug tool. They are not installed. The Oculus software I do not use at all. It's not running. It has no bearing on the settings within my headset. Hey, this looks pretty nice over here, this view. All right. And I think we'll end it with just a little quick nighttime look around and see what lights up and what doesn't, because there's a lighthouse just a little bit over to the right. Is a lighthouse, so I don't know if it'll light up at night here, but yeah, this looks pretty nice. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the skies. I'll keep testing, let you know how it goes. Watch the videos, you'll see how it performs. And we will good night and farewell to the Dolphins of New Zealand.